has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
And with that, we begin our journey in Darkest Dungeon. I, for one, am very excited. So, we are going to start a very interesting journey. Darkest Dungeon is one of my favorite games. The art style, the voiceover work. I mean, there's it's a lot of cool stuff. Did I name the campaign? I want to name the campaign first. Hold on now. Oh, we gotta do that first. Okay. We've got some DLC going. If you've never seen Darkest Dungeon before, I'll give you a little run through, but this is gonna be a bit of a let's play. Haven't done one in the longest time. And so we're gonna try it. We need a name for our estate. We're just gonna call it the BarrowsBOY, as we are wont to do. And let's freaking go. So we already have a bunch of you guys who have said you want to be named as part of the old BarrowsBOY in this campaign, but this is an awesome game.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
So we begin Darkest Dungeon. So the game is basically, I don't know really how to exactly describe it, but the tutorial should give you a good idea if you've never seen it before, what Darkest Dungeon is all about. Essentially, you get 4 units, and the tutorial only has us using 2. But just to give you a brief idea of how skills and combat work in this game, it is a dungeon exploration game. You can see in the map down here, they'll usually be a little bigger than this. But basically, we select where we want to go.
Brigands have run up these lanes.
We decide to start moving.
The hamlet is just ahead.
And then, essentially, once we get into combat, our characters all have these skills. So every character starts with 4 skills. There are a ton of different classes. And yeah, basically combat, you can kind of see down here. So you see the dots down there to simply describe the combat system. There are 4 slots that your characters can occupy, and there are 4 slots that the enemies can occupy. The yellow dots signify the slots in which you can use the skill, and the red dots signify the enemies that can be targeted with that skill. So Open Vein, for example, can be used in slot 1, 2, and 3, counting from right to left, and it can be used against slots 1 and 2, counting left to right on the enemy side. It's pretty much as easy as it gets. This is the tutorial. This is one of the few games that you will encounter where dying in the tutorial is, quite honestly, a very real possibility. If you're not being smart, or RNG just decides to be rude to you, it's very possible that you die. So we get loot, you move on, and that's pretty much it. There's also this neat little torch system, light system. The darker it gets, things change. Enemies get more difficult. You crit more, but you also take more damage. You get more loot. The higher up it is, the more disadvantage the monsters have. You can see right now, because the light is so high, we get dodge chance, we have the chance of scouting, and we have 4 little plus signs against surprising enemies. And of course we have curios, which are essentially just interactable things that we'll encounter along the way. And eventually you'll see how we can use items on those curios in hopes of basically getting stuff from those curios. So a big part of this game is interacting with those properly, and making your moves properly. You can also see down at the bottom here, as we use, say, pistol shot here to target this brigand fusilier. I'm going to be giving nicknames to all these jerks eventually, but you can see all the information. So you can see their resistances, you can see the chances that our highwayman here is going to hit, you can see the damage that he'll do if he hits, our crit chance. I believe crit's just double damage. You can see its dodge chance, the speed it has, all sorts of important information about this guy. So if we're to use pistol shot here, we're going to do 5 to 9 damage. The tough choice on this guy, mostly because it's very hard to, what's the word? It's very hard for our Crusader to do damage to this back guy. He literally can't do anything to that back guy. So we're going to go with Tracking Shot. It's a self buff, and we're going to try to do a little damage to this back guy, because we're not going to kill him on that first shot. We know that. Now, we've got a couple options here. We can bolster our defenses using Bulwark of Faith. We can try to stun. This guy has a 50% stun resistance, but I think we're going to go for it. Do a little damage at the same time. He resists the stun, though, which is unfortunate. Oh, he has point-blank shot. I wonder if that's... Oh, that forces me backwards. Interesting. Okay, well, we only have one choice now, because all he can do in the first slot is Open Vein, so we're going to have to cut a bitch. So we get the bleed effect, 2 damage every round, which is good for us. But unfortunately, we keep getting debuffed by that jerk. So we're just going to have to start cutting. Just going to get another lick in here. Not bad. Can we resist the bleed? Ooh, a little stress. That's the other mechanic in this game, is this bottom bar down here is stress. And stress will become probably our biggest enemy as we move forward, because if you're not dying to enemies, you are dying to stress. So once again, unfortunately stuck in the back here. We're going to go ahead and get the killing blow on this guy. We'd like to anyway, but instead we're just going to use our turn to move up. He's going to die to bleed, which means he will not leave a corpse behind. That's another important mechanic, if he leaves a corpse behind, it means that this character won't move up, so that our Crusader can hit him. And that's pretty much as simple as it gets. We get deeds, crests, and busts. They're all used to upgrade the manor once we get there. Of course, we're going to continue adventuring and take a look at this chest here. It's trapped. It's alright. We took some blight, but it's fine. We will back out and get ourselves to Hamlet. The tutorial done. We get some heirlooms. We get some stuff. We get some gold. And then we get quirks. These are quirks. Basically, kind of mechanics. These are bad. We got really bad ones to start off, but these are essentially things that your characters, get bonuses to their stats. So as you can see, our Crusader here has -4 speed on the first round, and our Highwayman here is obsessed with cleanliness, which might not seem super obvious right out the gate, but they're,
Welcome home.
Put it this way, there's a chance that as we move forward, you'll probably be running into things that will matter. So we're going to go to the stagecoach. This is where we get new heroes. And of course, we're going to take the 2 that are there. We're going to go ahead and name all these lovely people. First and foremost, this is, of course,
now that the road is clear.
Whoopsies. So you guys have reached out. We streamed a little bit of Darkest Dungeon to start this Let's Play off. And a lot of you guys got in on the action. Those of you who were there got these first characters. And if you'd like characters for future episodes, oops, that didn't save. Just hit me up. Ask away. You can message me on Twitter or whatever, and I will try my best to remember that you are interested. Got Dr. Smiley, appropriately our Plague Doctor, and then our Vestal, going to be Nystrom. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got here for our Vestal. Plus 15 bleed resist is pretty good. Another slow reflexes sucks. Speed is kind of just the mechanic of how people take turns and all that kind of good stuff. Bad Gambler is fine. That has to do with stress reduction. We've got some steady. That's awesome, minus 10% stress. However, this is... oh no, that's actually really good. Plus 20% stress heal received in the brothel. And that's not the best in the world, but, you know, we'll deal with it. We've got some interesting skills that he's starting out with. Looks like he's a backline Plague Doctor, so he's really only good for hitting the backline right now. He can do a little healing, and he can buff some targets, but other than that, he's not going to be super useful for hitting the front line. Nystrom comes with a decent skill set here. He does not have Divine Comfort, which is our AoE heal. We're going to want to pick that up at some point. He does have the Stun and Judgment, which is good. And of course, we already know what Bunny and Bob have. Let's just get right into it here, guys. Let's get our first mission done.
Mecca of madness and morbidity.
Yeah, we'll see what we can find. We're going to get a debuff stone, which is super. Actually kind of usable. So starting off with you know, something that we can actually use. And one of the cool things in this game, sometimes if you put together a particular party composition, you'll get a name for your party. So there's a couple that you can make out of the start. Red Hook, of course, being the developer, and the usual suspects being apparently what most people run their very first game. So we have this nice little UI here that kind of shows the preferred position that the character wants to be in based on their skill set. So we can kind of select everyone here and see that, you know, okay, probably our Vestal wants to be in the 3rd position, such that she can use Illumination. Not sure if we're really going to be using that skill, but, you know, we'll find out. We already know that Bob and Bunny are comfortable in the front, so let's provision for our stealth. Our heroes do not have all their combat skills equipped. Nice trim. Oh, we took Illumination off by accident. There we go. Okay, so we got Red Hook going. Let's get our provisions together.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold.
So keys are always good to have. It's always nice to have some bandages. We're going to bring a couple medicinal herbs for the ruins, usually something good. We have an anti-venom already, some holy water. We're going to want to bring about 8 torches. We'll rock 6 food for now. That should be plenty. And we'll pop 1 more bandage in there. Oh, I have... Okay, we'll take 8. If the game wants us to take 8, we will take 8 food. We will listen to the game. We'll be smart. So here we go. Our first adventure. Now, these first few kind of cookie cutter, but again, you can't take this game too lightly. You never know when something horrible is going to happen. And as it said at the very beginning, if your characters die, they are dead forever. So it's best not to get attached. We have to explore 90% of the rooms. Let's get it done.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Let's see if we can get our subtitles going. I know on. Get some subtitles going for you guys so you can see those if I'm talking over them, because one of the best parts of this game is the narration. Okay, so we surprised. So right now we have additional stress and additional monster crits. Not exactly super useful. There's that kind of territory of light where, like, it doesn't really do us anything to have light be that low. It just hurts us. If we get the light down to maybe down here, that's when we start getting, like, bonus loot chance and good stuff like that. Start right out the gate with a miss. That's always good news. We're gonna go for a stun, give us some torchlight as well, always nice.
In Radiance, may we find
Good stun.
victory.
Omi can do literally nothing right now, so he's going to buff our Crusader. Who, Bob is just gonna have to show them this shopping list and just
To the pit.
fuck shit up. That actually might be a great combo. So we've got an unlocked strongbox. We're gonna have you open it up, Bunny. I'm not sure if there's anything actually to be used on those, but as we kind of progress through the game, we're gonna learn more and more about which, because I've played this game a lot. I've never finished, but I've played this game a lot. And
Even
one
the
important
cold
thing
stone
as
seems
you play this
bent on
game
preventing
is
passage.
kind of learning what specific items work with specific curios, and because you get the most out of them basically in the end. Okay, so this is a good little start for us. They are surprised, so we're gonna try to get some blight on this unit. She has 20% blight resistance and still resisted. That is rough. We'll get a blanket fire out. It's always a good little buff to get going. Gosh, minus 20 dodge. I've never really used illumination, to be honest. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage. 1 to 2 damage. Judgment is gonna do 3 to 6. I'm trying to think. Our Crusader's not gonna be able to do any damage, but he's probably gonna kill the 2 bonies. So I'm gonna go for the stun on the Acolyte. Acolyte is a unit that is incredibly good at stunning. Oh, and we don't have the buff. He's going before our Plague Doctor for some reason this time.
Confidence surges.
So we got
as the
one of
enemy
them.
crumbles.
And there's finally our corpse tutorialization. Eldritch push. I don't know if this stresses. It does not stress, which is good. Ooh,
Death waits for the slightest
10.
lapse in concentration.
ouch. Oh, dude, you're killing me. You are killing me. Okay, we're gonna go for a tracking shot. Him being in the front is not great either, and now we're gonna take a bunch of stress. But the dodge from nicely done. Love it. We're gonna go for Dazzle Light. Maybe get the kill. We don't pick him. That kind of sucks. But he's stunned, so that's good. Every time you stun an enemy, they get stun resistance the turn after. That's why that buff shows up. And we're unfortunately gonna have to waste that turn just moving our Crusader back into a position that he can actually work. And he will be able to show off the shopping list, but I would really just like to land a blight, please. Thank you so much.
Slowly,
Let's go.
gently.
And he is going to finish things off
life
with an
is.
open vein. Ooh, and a crit. Nice. Crits are always super useful because they tend to heal stress from your party.
This expedition at least promises success.
So it's always nice if your party can end up landing crits because obviously it's killing enemies faster, but it's also helps your party out. We're going to try going right here. And hopefully not run into anything that requires a shovel because we've unfortunately run out of shovels. Pop a torch up as we go in here. Ooh, dang. Got some bonies. We're gonna just go for that AoE action here. Give him some debuffs. We're gonna Boldening Vapors our Crusader. Something I have not ever really done in the past. Not a big deal. 4 damage to him is not terrible. This could be rough though. 3 is not bad. I don't think it comes with bleed or anything. We're definitely gonna have to start healing our Crusader here. He's getting a little low. Starting to get a little spooky. 7 Ispra. Hit him with the shopping list though.
Their formation is broken.
Alright, we got 1.
Maintain the offensive.
Gets another turn. Dang.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Yeah, and when enemies crit, it stresses us the fuck out.
As the
Another
fiend
shopping list, why not?
falls, a faint hope
Okay, so
blossoms.
they're skeletons, so they can't bleed. So using bleed skills like Open Vein, probably not worth it. We'll do... We can't even use that skill anyway. But we'll do 5 to 9 damage here if we hit. Yikes. Okay, we're gonna go for the stun so we can take a couple turns to hopefully get off some heals onto our units here. Nice crit heal. Good. Super good. We needed that. This skill actually does heal, so we are gonna just use it for that 1 HP. Doesn't seem like a lot really, but it is worth it. We're gonna tracking shot here just because it buffs him, and it's not gonna kill that back unit just yet. He's got 8 health left. And go ahead and buff up our protections.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
Hopefully this guy does not steal a turn from
Only the
us.
strength to follow it.
Look at that. His health's almost all the way back to where we want it. Here is where we're probably going to want to just kill him. Going to take a little more than that, though. When we stole the turn. Okay, we actually can buy ourselves another turn here. Vestal's going to take a bit of a punch there, but we're essentially just going to keep buying turns. As soon as he goes, he's dead, so we don't really have to worry about him in a whole lot. So we're going to kind of cheese a little bit just so we can get some extra heals out, because quite honestly, we need them. And he can finish it off.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Okay, so we got Holy Water, and I think Divine Benefit. Ooh, full heal. Interesting. And stress heal. Was that a full heal and stress heal? Yes, it was. Nice. Okay. We get some scouting. We have a room battle with treasure back there. We might want to double back. Room battles tend to be a good thing. We also have a trap right here. Our Highwayman's going to have the biggest trap disarm. But that being said, this guy's really stressed. Ugh, that's not going to help.
Mechanical hazards.
Okay, well, I took a risk there. I wanted to lower his stress, but fortunately I kind of did the opposite. Okay, nothing in here. I'm starting to think we should avoid that room battle, but treasure. I don't want to double back. If we're feeling good by the time we get to the end of the dungeon, maybe we'll check it out. Are you a kleptomaniac? Yeah, he steals stuff because he's an asshole. Prone to stealing items. He's also a warrior of light, which is really good. But god damn it. Him stealing shit really sucks. I hate... They always start you off with a klepto, and it is my least favorite thing. Alright, no battle here, and we get scouting. So, okay, here's going to be a big kind of decision for us. We also have a room battle with... Ooh, we do not have a shovel, though, so we're actually going to go back. Because we don't have a shovel to get through that obstacle. We used our one shovel. So we're going to actually head backwards. Now, your party, you can back up as you head down a hallway. Your party hates it, though. It literally stresses your units out to move backwards. So we're going to try best not to do that. Now, one other thing to note is that when we succeed on a mission, we heal up fully. However, our units do not automatically get their stress healed. We have to do that in town, whether it's in a brothel or praying the stress away. There's a lot of ways you can do it, but it does not happen automatically. So being able to cure stress by yourself is something that is important. So we could go for our AoE, but I want to get rid of the stress unit. So fast. It's gonna hurt. 15 stress, and it lowers the light, which is a little spooky. Alright, he's got bleed. We've got bandages, so that's no big deal. This should, if it lands, kill her. So she's dead. We don't have to worry about her so much anymore. With that, thinking we go for a stun on this fella. Resist, man. It's always resist. God. 7. Ouch. Okay, so he's bleeding. We're going to go ahead and bandage him because having these bandages and not doing anything with them is rather useless. And I think we're just going to go for as much damage as we can. We could kill this guy, and we do. Perfect.
Executed with impunity.
Perfect. Another round. He's dead, so we're going to go ahead and buff up our Crusader. It's really our only move there, because this Plague Doctor has nothing that hits this first target. We're going to try to get a bleed out on this guy. We succeed. Very nice. And he's dead in 2 turns. So we might want to try to catch a stun on him just to heal up some of our party. We might get a shovel from this. You never know. It sometimes happens. Pretty rare, though. And knowing that, I think we're just going to go for kills.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them.
And away she goes. Ooh, and a health stone. +1, +10 max HP, minus a little speed. That's actually really good for our Crusader. We're just going to put that on right away. We're also going to go into this. Use a key on that bad boy. Get a little food. All right, and that's gonna do it. That's our first mission, and that's also the end of our first episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy Darkest Dungeon, we'll do more. There's gonna be a bunch of these over the course of the week, guys, so you'll have to deal with them even if you don't like them to start off. If you have any tips, obviously leave them in the comments. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the first episode. Let's get our loot. See if we got some decent quirks here. That is hopefully never gonna be a problem. -5 dodge is really bad, but at least we got some decent stuff in here. Beast Hater's pretty good. Ruined Scrounger is pretty meh on a Vestal, but Clumsy is just really bad. So we'll have to think about treating these quirks. If you let quirks sit on characters for long enough, they stay and they cannot be removed. So we're gonna want to see about getting those removed as soon as possible. And it looks like we have 2 Hellions in our stagecoach. So we're going to upgrade the stagecoach as soon as we possibly can. We want to see more heroes in here as much as possible. You don't have to pay for them. You can literally just, get them as they come. But we will handle the de-stressing of our units and more in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.